Hi and welcome to Freedom. Welcome to Freedom Fridays. Oh my God, it's been a long day. Whoosh. Going on a bit later than expected. So I'm going to wait a minute to allow all the viewers to jump on who have been waiting patiently tonight. I got held up at work, which is a good thing, getting new clients. It's been a really amazing, incredible day, and I'm so excited to be here with all of you. Oh, hi Pavan, hi Chloe. Wow, hi, I'm so glad you're here. And Misty, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yay, 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 yes. It's going to be a good one tonight. I have been looking forward to doing this Freedom Friday all day long. Yay, Camille is here and Andre. So good to have all of you here. So let's get grounded and just sort of open this container and we'll get started and see what the message is for this week of May 19th. Okay, so first, go ahead and close your eyes, or not, but I'm going to close my eyes and take a few nice deep breaths through your nose. Inhale, fill your belly, and then exhale out your mouth. I'm choosing to sigh it out. And I'm calling in all of our guides, guardian angels, our ancestors to join me in this circle for this healing conversation. I'm calling in with all of the human beings that are soul contracted to be present right now, to hear this message and to interact. And I'm calling in the source, our creator, the Almighty God, Father God, Mother God. And open the crown of your head and allow gold light to come through the crown of your head. All the way through, filling up your third eye, down to the throat chakra, going down to the heart chakra, the solar plexus, the sacral and the root, filling your entire body and being with this gold light. And then imagine that there is a tube from your root chakra going through the ground, through the earth, all the way to the center of the earth. And imagine that gold light penetrating all the way down to the center of the earth. And at the center of the earth, it's filled with giant crystals. Just letting go of the events of the day, of the last hour, of the last week, of the last year. And now imagine all of that gold light from that crystal formation coming up through the earth, through the root, through the sacral, through the solar plexus, through the heart, the throat, the third eye, and the crown. And then imagine the gold light forming a torus around you of energy going down and energy going up. And spinning around you, completely filled with gold light. Letting go of all energy and with all interactions that you've had today. Pulling all of your energy back from social media, from all of the interactions. Filling yourself up with all of that healing, vitality, grounded energy. And then bring yourself back to this moment and go ahead and open your eyes. Hi, hello, and welcome to Freedom Fridays, week of May 19th for your energy forecast. You know, it's so interesting. Sometimes we get so busy and so distracted that we'll put off on doing our self-care practices, such as a meditation. And that meditation that we just did took but only 2 minutes. And I don't know about you, but I already feel grounded, more present, more in my body. And that's all it takes, right? So this topic tonight is around how we support ourselves through this accelerated ascension process. During this time, we are being asked to go deeper into ourselves than we've ever been before, to look deeper and to get to the source of any resolved pain or trauma that's causing you to be stuck in your behavioral patterns that you're wanting to shift out of. And with the last few videos, all of this conversation around shifting, breaking patterns, letting go of the past, healing our past lives, there's been so much work on the self. There's been so much energy put into this realignment and recalibration with these upgrades from Spirit this year. And so today's topic is about softening and allowing and balancing. Remember to create play, to create lightness around all of this healing and transformation and all of this internal and external changes. You know, the month of May, like we said in the last video, is really about this accelerated energy and the energy is instability with a lot of motion. So instability with a lot of motion. A lot of ideas are coming through. A lot of our channels are beginning to get clearer as we align more authentically with our truth and with Spirit, letting go of doing things because we feel obligated, letting go of doing things out of non-soul purpose, letting go of truly anything that no longer serves you in love, relationship, career, and your daily practices, your daily schedule. So in order to support yourself, last week we went into depth with inner child work and past life clearings. Today is more about balancing your schedule and creating balance inside of your support system. And what we mean by that is this. Hold on, give me a second, because I'm still reeling from the day and connecting to my channel. So 1 second. Okay, so the month of May is about getting deeply connected to our heart center and expanding our ability to give and receive love for ourselves and for all others that we come into contact with. And we want to remind you that all things that trigger you are never outside of you. Every time you get triggered, it always exists in here first. So when you're triggered, it's not about them. When you're triggered, it's always in here first. So the opportunity is to shift your perspective of how you view the people in your life that are triggering you, how you view the circumstances in your life that are triggering you. We thank God for these triggers. These triggers are opportunities for us to go deeper inside of our heart, deeper inside of our soul journey, so that we can begin to clear out all the things that are blocking us from an expanded state of actually vibrating in unconditional love. Remember, being in love is actually a vibration that you cultivate within yourself. Many people get confused about being in love and thinking that it only exists between two persons. Love is your natural state of being, and you're also having a human experience. So be kind to yourself through this transformational process. Be gentle with yourself. Have compassion for every time you see yourself repeating an old pattern. For every time you see parts of the shadow rising for you to look at. For every time you see that you're having the same arguments, the same circumstances, the same situations that you thought for sure you had completed within yourself, and you're not sure why they're showing up again. Right now, everything in your shadow is being completely illuminated, and we say yes to this. Yes, 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 yes. We say yes to this. The more you can shift yourself into a state of surrender to seeing the beauty of this process, the more you'll get adept to the big tidal wave that is this year. 2017 is a tsunami energy, and the wave will not stop. It's not going to stop. So if you've been drowning under the tidal wave, again, we urge you to meet us here every week for support, so that we can together download these lessons and upgrade our frequency. Because when Freedom channels this body of beings, she's getting upgraded, and those transmissions go to you. So we're getting upgrades and having peace with this tidal wave effect. And the wave is going to keep hitting us for the next 4 months. So anytime in life you're going through the cycle, right? You go up and then you go down, and then you go up and then you go down, and then you go up and then you go down. So when you're up, prepare for the down. And when you're down, know that it's going back up. And it's always a cycle. There's different seasons in your life. There's different seasons and textures with the parts of your soul that you're beginning to transform and upgrade. So be gentle on yourself. Doesn't matter how long you've been in your awakening process. The energy is amplified across the globe right now. So not only are you feeling deeply the impact of restructuring your individual life, but remember, we're all self, you're deeply tuning into the collective clearing. And we want this because the illusion of separation is beginning to fade finally. And we're so happy for your planet that the illusion is beginning to fade finally. Because when Earth ascends, all other aspects of the universe also ascend. So the entire universe is here supporting you through this process. But people have become so dissociated and blind to their ascension process. Why? Because they're deeply stuck in the systems that you have created for yourself in the United States of America and in the planet, where you put your spirituality second, your relationship second, your self-growth second, because you have all these things that you have to do because of the system that you've created in order to survive. The Great Awakening is upon us right now, in which we're deeply connected to, if anything is not of love or for the highest good of myself, and for the highest good of community and of collective, then it's no longer in my well-being to do those things. So that's great news. The world is having a breakup with the world. The world is going through a breakup. We all know what a breakup feels like, right? All sorts of different emotions. Whew. This is a time to recalibrate. This is a time to look at how far you've come and give yourself gratitude and appreciation. This is a time for you to honor yourself for not getting off in the middle of the ride. In last week's talk, we spoke about that you took a pill before you got here, and now you're having this lucid dream. This is just what the medicine journey looks like right now. Nothing's ever wrong. That's the world of duality, to think that your process how much you're processing, the way you're processing, how you're failing to process, all of the shame, all of the guilt, all of the confusion, all of the being hard on yourself. One of the things that's really being illuminated across the planet, and Freedom knows as well, is releasing being hard on ourselves. We want to remind you how ingrained your programming is. You are hardwired to be a certain way. And that's frustrating for the soul who is infinite. And so we want to congratulate you for globally how well everyone is doing with their commitment to more love and their commitment to breaking these old patterns. Because of the critical mass that is awakening, we are experiencing more serendipity. We are experiencing more support than ever before. But it's important for you to take radical responsibility for your stories that have created the projections called your experience of your life. There's no one out there. It is all self. Everything is mirroring what's happening internally with you. Everyone is triggering what's happening internally with you. Everything is triggering what's happening internally with you. This is you. There's no one out there. And when you can rest into that, you'll become accountable and responsible for your thoughts, your feelings, and your beingness, and how you show up in the world. Sometimes we fall into the trap of being very demanding, having a lot of expectations. The spiritual community loves to manifest and to create vision boards and intentions. Create, I want, I create. Be careful of the trap of trying to control, force, change, and fix. If your creations are stemmed from the energy of control, change, or fix, you will attract exactly that. Situations in which you feel you need to control, change, or fix. People in which you feel you need to control, change, or fix. World of duality. In the fifth dimension, we create from the deep knowing that all possibilities exist right now for you and are available to you. But some of you are so stuck inside of your stories that it would appear as if you would need a miracle in order to shift your life. Okay, if that's the case, then miracles happen and miracles are available for you, if that's what you're thinking that you need. All possibilities are available to you right now. How you align to the possibility that most lights you up is by feeling into and matching your vibration to the state of being that you would be being if you were experiencing that possible reality right now. We know you've heard some version of this before. Isn't it nice to have a reminder? Isn't it nice to be supported right now? Because isn't that what you're all seeking? Is more support. When the caterpillar is turning into a butterfly, the cells of the caterpillar actually believes that it's dying. Shift your perspective of what death and birth is. To die, to let go, to shed, to transform, and then to rebirth yourself. Depending on where you're at in your individual ascension process, some of you have a lot of spiritual knowledge. Okay? But what is spiritual knowledge without the integration in your being? You are a spiritual being. You are an infinite being. You are God. And not only are you creating your life, but it's already been created. And now you're showing up in your story, allowing the journey to unfold right before you. So it's so important that you remember to be in the moment, to live moment by moment. Some of you need to create more structures in order to support yourself through this process, and carve out time every day to take care of yourself, to check in with yourself. Whether that's starting the morning with a cup of cacao and a 2-minute meditation, or a 2-hour meditation, or yoga, or a hike. Deeply connecting to yourself at the beginning of the day and at the end of the day, and remembering how easy it is to simply ground, to get present, to turn off the mind chatter, and to be here now. Forget all that you've created and all that you desire, and rather allow yourself to be a receiver of all of that which you desire, and have a knowingness that it's already happening and that it is available for you, no matter how impossible it may seem. To have this sort of knowingness means you've got to alter your vibration to the frequency of that which you desire. So again, we want to bring you back to, no matter how many times you've heard this before, we want to bring you back to right now in this moment, because this moment is new. And for whatever reason, you were listening to this, and so this message is for you. Right. Good. You're here. Thank you. So we're altering our DNA, and we're becoming attuned to a lighter frequency body, to a lighter frequency vessel. We're becoming lighter. Our gifts are becoming more tuned. Our hearts are expanding, and our chakra system has shifted and kind of absorbed into the 7 main chakras, have kind of absorbed into these sort of 4 main chakras that move up and down vertically. Isn't that nice? There's less heaviness. There's less stickiness. It's a time to let go, to die, and to be reborn, and to not fear the death process. And we're not speaking of a physical vessel death. The death of different parts of your ego, the death of the programming, the death and the burning of the karma. And we appreciate you for being here and doing this work for your family lineage in which your family members have not done this work. So you are a superhero, you are a warrior, you are amazing and awesome for being here and showing up when you were called to, even if people don't understand you. It's okay if your friends and birth family don't understand you. Freedom knows all about that. It's okay. It just means you're making a clearing and you're making room. All of the things that you're losing in your life this year, all of the money that you've lost, all of the love and intimate relationships and all of the breakups, we've been saying it for 1.5 years. How many people are going to break up this year? And we celebrate this because as you let go of all of these things, you're actually creating more room to live your bliss. And of course, Spirit wants you to be abundant because Spirit itself is abundant. Life itself is abundant. It's never ending. It's infinite. And when you can allow that information to be absorbed in your body right now, to reprogram all of the scarcity conversation that there's not enough, all of the scarcity conversation of struggling in life, all of the scarcity conversation that it's hard work, all of the scarcity that I might not find my life partner, that I've lost love, that I've lost friends, that I've lost family. Remember, the caterpillar doesn't really die. It's just reborn into a new form. And when it's being reborn into that new form, it needs room to make way, to become expanded, to be available to receiving this new energy and the possibilities that your heart and soul truly desire, that's already available for you and already happening on one dimension right now. And now you're allowing yourself to quiet your mind so much, to become so still. It's less about I'm doing, I'm creating, I'm intending, I'm wanting, I'm desiring, I'm longing for, I'm yearning. Do you see how that way of being actually prevents you from living the life of your dreams right now? Because you're waiting on a someday moment to happen. And we know that this can be confusing for the mind. But your manifestation is not that anymore. That's the old paradigm. Your manifestation is, it already exists. And I'm excited about that, and I allow it, and I am good enough, and I deserve love. I deserve pleasure. I deserve bliss. I deserve joy. I deserve to feel free in my body and my mind and my soul and in my life. I deserve to experience the freedom of what it actually means to be a human being at this time on the planet. And if that sounds yummy and delicious and juicy to you, then we invite you to do one thing, one very simple thing. Let go. Let go of who you thought it was supposed to be, how you think it's supposed to come to you, that you don't know how to do it. And for God's sake, let go of you don't know that what you want to do with your life. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. There is a seed in each of you that has been planted before you came into this life form, that knows exactly what your dharma is, that knows exactly what your mission is, that knows exactly who you are, why you're here, and what you're meant to be doing. It's actually total bullshit that you don't know what your life is about. If you think you don't know what your life is about, then you're in a state of fear and scarcity, and you're not connected to spirit. There's no shame in this. This is what human beings do. So we want to remind you to come back to yourself. Connect to spirit in your heart, right in the center of your heart. When you drop in out of your mind, out of left brain that wants to think, analyze, control, be logical, create, and drop into your heart center that is already free, the heart will always guide you completely 100% of the time. You just have to be willing to get out of the busyness of your life, to get out of the rat race of your life, and remember that you're a spiritual being, and you can take 2 minutes a day to tap into yourself. You have the power to know where your life is going, so to speak. So you want to stop thinking about yearning and longing for something and start realizing it all exists right now. And if I'm allowing myself to receive and I have full trust and I'm actually being surrender, I let go of the pain. I let go of the trauma. I let go of the setbacks. You see, there's never really any setbacks in life ever. What's occurring is occurring for your highest good. What's occurring is occurring for your highest good. Isn't that great? That means there are no mistakes and there are no failures. You can't fuck it up. You can't mess it up. It's all already written. But if you would like to experience a more smooth journey, then surrender to the tidal wave effect. See the beauty of the spiritual awakening that's happening inside of yourself and all around you. All of the heartbreak, all of the stress, all of the overwhelm, all of the fear has been designed to crack your heart open to a bigger, more expanded state. So as you purge, and as you let go, and as you release, and as you revisit that which you already thought was complete, but has a new layer to it, go with the excitement of knowing that when I have the courage to face myself, and by the way, if your stuff is coming up now, it's because you are capable enough to face it and transmute it. And how you transmute these old patterns and these old energies is by being fully with the life, the entity of the feeling experiences that are trapped in the vessel. So for example, if you're experiencing anxiety, you close your eyes. I'm experiencing anxiety. And you go into the self. And you feel it somatically, where it's trapped in the body. And you feel the sensation. And then you ask yourself to go in deeper, to actually sit inside, to go down into the feeling. And then you ask for it to intensify. And you ask for it to intensify. And you ask for more. And you ask for more. And you ask for more. And you feel it completely with all of your attention. And you do this for 15 minutes. And when you give yourself permission to feel that trigger of the pain, the sadness, the rage, the fear, the anxiety, any of what you deem as unpleasant, negative feeling experiences, and you give yourself permission to sit fully inside of it, and you give it all of your attention for 15 minutes, and you feel it, and you emote, and you release, it will naturally, automatically, and powerfully release itself from your body and be transmuted. So every week we're giving you free tools on how to support yourself at this time in our history. But you have to take the action step and have the commitment to do these things and to make yourself and your spiritual growth a priority in your life. No one's going to do the work for you. The healers, the light workers, the shaman are here to teach you to empower yourself. We are here to teach you how to empower yourself so that you are fully capable of being 100% accountable for your well-being. For your well-being. That your being is well. Right? So take care of your vessel. Be conscious of what you're listening to, what you're exposing your mind to, and how that's affecting you. Grieve the loss of your family members and friends that no longer seem to fit your life, and call in your soul family. Call in your soul tribe. Call in that life partner. And for all of those that went through a breakup in the last 2 years, the love partnerships that we're preparing for are so divine and so intense that it's going to really take you clearing your space internally and having those forgiveness conversations with your exes. You know, just as much as you have programming, so do your lovers and the partners that you've had, your relationships. And when you can see that the world is filled with a bunch of human beings with unprocessed trauma that are stuck in their 5-year-old selves, and that's who's really showing up in the world, you can kind of get the sense of humor of what a muck we've gotten ourselves into. Because people have unprocessed trauma and pain. And remember, in last week's video, we said trauma is a moment in which your adrenals get alerted, go into fight or flight, and you feel numb in your body. That's a trauma. A trauma can happen in a moment, in a millisecond. Even the way your partner breaks up with you can be traumatic. And so you have to do the work for yourself to take care of and nurture your wounds. And the more accountable you are for nurturing your wounds, then guess what gets called into your field? Other human beings that are going to meet you where you're at, which is really what you want, is to be seen and to be understood and to have a deepening with your intimate relationships. So try not to be attached to the who and the how and the when, but rather be rested and at peace with that you have a blueprint, that your soul is here for purpose, that our divine purpose collectively is to be of service to each other. And when you fine-tune that and you distill it, which you will, some of you already have, but as you begin to distill it even more, and as you begin to detox yourself, removing the toxins that are blocking you from being a clear channel, you will feel yourself just integrate and align. And when that happens in your ascension process, naturally your high self merges with your body. And then you'll tap into even deeper levels of what your gifts are. We're all psychic. We're all telepathic. We're all empathetic. One of the things in the old paradigm is borders and guards around boundaries of feeling other people's feelings. We really want you to begin to delete that. Delete, delete, delete. This may be triggering for some of you who've been studying boundaries. The truth is, we are highly sensitive, all-feeling beings here to have feeling experiences. This is what we've chosen to do so that we can grow fully into our power, fully into our superpowers. In order for us to do this, there's got to be a willingness to let go of the old, even the things that you liked about the old way of being, the old paradigm. Delete, delete, delete. We are high sensitive, empathic, telepathic beings. When you witness someone else's pain, there's no need to create a border, a boundary, or a wall, or a guard, or a shield. Rather, when you learn what it means to be the witness, and by the way, for some of those of you that are just jumping on or some of those that are jumping off, there's a few of you that really need to hear this message right now, so hang in there. It'll make sense in a second, especially with those concerned about their love and romantic love lives. What it means to be the witness. What it means to be the witness is, I'm in a state of all acceptance and no judgment. I'm in a state of all acceptance and no judgment. That is what it means to be a container, to hold space for witnessing someone else's pain. If you didn't feel the pain of your brothers being killed or the pain of your sisters being raped, then you would be a sociopath. We're meant to feel big feelings. We're meant to sense and emote with each other. This is what creates deeper levels of intimacy. We're not meant to run away when someone's in pain. We're not meant to judge that pain, distract ourselves from it, try to fix it, change it, make it go away. But rather, we walk in deep reverence for what it means to be a spiritual being having a human experience. So inside of partnership, mostly on the planet, people's love decreases over time. But your innate ability and your innate birthright is to have that love increase over time. How do you do that? In order for you to be able to increase your love in your partnership over time, you have to learn what it truly means to be the witness. You are not here to be codependent with your partners, to be emotionally needy. to place ridiculously high expectations on your partnerships. That's not what partnership is. Partnership is, I am here to fully realize myself as God. You're here to fully realize yourself as God. And as you go through your journey, I witness you. And as I go through my journey, you witness me. And you give grace and spaciousness to your partner without judgment, because you have a soul contract with this other being and they're going to trigger you. But remember, earlier in this talk, we said if you're triggered, it's never outside of you. It's never about them. They are your opportunity to show you what's inside that has not been healed. So are you going to continue to make your partner wrong every time you get triggered? Or are you going to continue to love and give gratitude to your partner for being the witness of your life so that you can grow into a deeper sense of love for yourself, for spirit, and for your partnership? It takes remembering and cultivating deep reverence inside of relationship for it to grow into that true love we all truly desire. If you're in partnership and you're not experiencing a high frequency of love right now, then you want to go inward, and all of the things that are triggering you about your partnership, begin to examine within yourself. And find compassion and forgiveness. Forgive and forgive and forgive. Why are you so concerned about what happened a month ago? It already happened. What's happening right now? This life is short. It's going to happen in the blink of an eye. At any moment, your life can go upside down and inside out. Don't wait for a trauma. Don't wait for a serious circumstance to occur in order for you to appreciate what you have right now. What's going on in the space is there's sometimes a lack of appreciation coincides with the tidal wave of the ascension process, of the transformation that we're going through right now. Learn to appreciate the ride. Learn to see everything as beautiful. If you can begin to shift and to look at your ascension process, to look at your shadow self, and to look at your lovers, and to look at your career, if you can begin to look at everything and find the beauty in it, your entire experience of life will alter. There's beauty in the pain and the trauma and the disappointments. There's even beauty in yourself when you go into fear. Nothing's wrong. The mantra is this: all is well. All is well. It's your perspective that creates this lucid dream and turns it into a nightmare. That's how powerful you are, but sometimes we forget and we need to be reminded. Oh, Nicole, I'm so glad you joined. Sometimes we just need to be reminded, right? Nothing is wrong. All is well. It's good. It should be this way. It's supposed to be this way. It's supposed to look this way. This is supposed to be happening. How do I know that? Because there are no mistakes. Because it is happening. Whatever is happening for the highest good of yourself and all of humanity. Isn't that great? That's how connected we are. That's interconnectedness. And the deeper you can connect to that we're interconnected and stop making the circumstances and the breakdowns wrong and allow them to happen, and remember that you're a spiritual infinite being and that this experience of life was your choice. You can revel and celebrate. You know, it's funny to us. It's funny to us that you human beings wait for something to celebrate. You wait for a birthday. You wait for a wedding. You wait for the baby shower. You wait. This is more of that thing that you do around manifesting that comes from the old paradigm. I'm going to wait for my creations to happen. Waiting is not the same thing as allowing. Waiting is not the same thing as being. You don't have to wait for something exciting to be excited. And you don't have to wait for a celebration on the calendar in order to be celebrating. You can alter your frequency and be in the state of celebration right now. Because you're alive. You are a miracle. God created you as an intelligent reflection of itself. And so therefore you are also God, embodied in this vessel. And you have power. And you have beautiful experiences to be had in connection, in love. Deepening and deepening and deepening. So all of the loss, all of the betrayal, all of the pain, all of the trauma, all of the heartache is breaking open your spirit so that you can expand and grow. Right? That's what this whole game is about, is expanding, never ending. So when you can just rest into that and stop fighting it and stop resisting it, that the game is to ever expand, such as God the Creator, who's ever expanding itself and will never stop being born and dying and born and dying and new and expanded and expanded and expanded, then you alter your perspectives and your perceptions of how you're seeing this reality and how you're seeing this game, and you expand yourself to fit. You expand yourself to be bigger. It's kind of like a lot of you are a plant in a small pot, and you've grown so much, and you're trying to still be inside of that small pot. Let the pot break open. Let the pot fall apart. And then call in a bigger pot to support this new growth that you're going through. Isn't that nice? You can actually call in that bigger pot. There's no scarcity of containers to support wherever you're at on the path, wherever you're at in your growth, wherever you're at in your ascension process. There's no scarcity. Scarcity is the biggest lie that mankind ever made up. And it's gotten your planet in a lot of trouble. But luckily, enough people have woken up, and their dharma is to correct the distortion that there was ever scarcity. And we've got the water protectors, and we've got the land protectors, and they're rising, and they're building communities and eco-villages, and all of this is happening right now. So it's a really exciting time to be alive, having this human experience. What a blessing. How beautiful that your spirit chose to be embodied at this point. Allow this message of this video, for those of you that are just tuning in, we actually urge you to please re-watch this video from the beginning, because some of you need to hear what you haven't heard yet up to this point, and you're going to get some gold nuggets out of this, right? Whew. So now I'm going to open up the space for some Q&A. Oh, hi, Aubrey. I'm so happy you could join. I'm so glad you're still on the call, Nicole. I've been wanting to connect with you, love. Who do I see there? I know that symbol. Is that Tony? So if anyone has questions that they would like to ask, I'll be available. I'm available and I'm willing to give you any support, guidance, or coaching that you so desire at this moment. We want to thank you guys for participating. We are loving Freedom Fridays. This is such a fun and new way to deliver these messages. Oh, yes, that is you, Tony. Yay. Yay, yay, yay. Yes, yes, yes. My goodness. You know, it's interesting doing Freedom Fridays live in this way. I'm just going to kind of speak while I wait for people to write their questions. So what's interesting about this process, especially for you light workers and healers and intuitives and multidimensional beings and gifted ones, we're strengthening and activating our gifts newly right now. And so I had a lot of resistance to doing this work live because I felt very strongly that I could not use and get in touch with my gifts unless I had really good eye contact with community and had to be in the flesh, in the present. And it's been a risk to answer the call to do this work live because I've been called to do it. It's many people have come into my life, and the message was very clear that this is what I needed to do on a consistent basis. And let me tell you, that's been so threatening to my ego that wants to look good, that wants to impress, that is completely afraid of being judged by community. There's no control over going on Facebook Live. I cannot hold a container. It's kind of like, I've been leading workshops for 5 years now. Imagine being a teacher in a classroom and people are just coming and going as they please. And as they go, they thumbs up you or they throw a tomato at you. And there's no control over the container. So I've had to expand myself, expand my sense of trusting myself, expand my sense that spirit truly is indeed guiding me and always is and has my back. So it actually doesn't matter if anyone's judging me, doesn't like me, doesn't agree with me. I don't need any of that outside validation. When you get so tuned in to spirit guiding you, none of that matters. The first time I met God in a tangible way and having a conversation, I was 16 years old. And I'm just going to say he said, God said, spirit said, started prepping me and telling me I was going to do this work. And 16 years old, you guys. And I said, Spirit, do you know what they're going to do to me if I do this work? Do you know the amount of rejection I'm going to receive by doing this work? And Spirit said to me, do you care what other people think about you, or do you care what I think? I just said, understood. Not everyone's going to understand your journey. Sometimes you're not going to understand your own journey. But as you dissolve the world of judgment, which is a state of consciousness, which is a state of living in the ego third dimension, and you dissolve that, and you become courageous in knowing that the only thing that truly exists is spirit. So by aligning to spirit, you will completely be supported. Always, 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 always. Okay, I'm going to scroll in and see what this first question was. From Taylor. What are the best ways to practice allowing the abundance that spirit is waiting to gift to us? Okay, so this is a little bit complicated, but hang in there with me, Taylor, because we're going to go a little multidimensional with this answer. You said waiting to give to you. Spirit isn't waiting to give you anything. That's already where your thinking mind is blocking you from living an abundant life right now, because your thinking mind thinks that there's such a thing as time. So in your thinking mind, you think that there's a past, a present, and a future. So you think, because I'm in my present and I cannot see that my external world is full of abundance, then I must ask and request for this abundance to come to me, so I am waiting for God to show up for me. That's the illusion. The reality is that your abundance exists right now. So it's not that you're waiting to be abundant, but rather you are aligning yourself to be in the state of allowing. You're allowing. You're not waiting. To wait is to wait for something that hasn't happened to happen. To allow is the state of being that it's already happening, and because it's already happening, my frequency is that of being in celebration for all that I have. Because I am in the Garden of Eden right now. The Garden of Eden is the state of being abundant. But you forgot. Because we fell asleep. Because that was part of the game. And then we woke back up. So delete, I'm waiting.
And I get where you're coming from. I'm creating abundance in my life. And in that moment that you speak, I'm creating abundance in my life, you do any of the inner child work if you have any thoughts or feelings that don't align with what you said. Because if you're not in the state of abundance right now, then your thought and your feelings are not aligned with you saying that I am abundant. Probably because you're waiting for the abundance to come. The abundance is all around you. I get that you want to tap into that, and how you tap into that is by being in the state of celebration for all that exists right now and has always been available to you. And when you vibrate on that level, you're just sitting here and it comes to you. Okay? I hope that helps, Taylor. And you should check out my course, Next Level Mentorship. I'm filling spots right now. It's for 10 women. I've got some people on the waiting list for the next one. It's a powerful journey that we're going on for a month to have all of these breakthroughs that you just brought up. Oh, Perla. Perla, my soul sister, my juicy sister. Love you, girl. Okay. Adam says, hi, long time to reconnect with you. So happy. Where are you right now? How do you help someone become the person you know they are deep down? They are struggling with life and not happy, which puts constraints on our relationship. How do I help someone become the person you know they are deep down? They're struggling with life and not happy, which puts constraints on our relationship. So consider this. We're not here to help anyone be anything. We're not here to help anyone be anything. The constraint on the relationship is your perception of how you see your partner and how you perceive you're judging how they process, right? You're actually judging how they process. And if your perspective is that my partner is a victim or needs rescuing or needs help, you're actually in your spiritual ego thinking that you're going to be the healer or the helper that's going to shine the light so that they wake up and so that they get it. Now, we're not saying that this person's way of being doesn't have an impact, okay? We get it. I get the bulk of what you're saying. So I honor that there must be, if you're around someone who's cranky pants all the time, there's an impact to that, right? But you want to unattach yourself from the attachments that you're their healer, you're their helper, you're their guide, you're their teacher, and go back to what we spoke about halfway through this video of what it means to be the witness. Adam, when you can show up fully and accept your partner fully for where they're at every part of their unfoldment on the path, something magical happens. But you've got to not judge this part of their process as wrong or bad or not as good as what it means to be happy. There's beauty in the darkness. There's beauty in the sadness. It's those emotions that are triggering their ascension process and their awakening. So again, there's no one out there. If you're being triggered by your partner's inability, quote unquote, to feel happy or to cope, then you're trapped in the story that they're trapped in. They're living out the story that they're trapped in around their life. They're living and playing out their story. And somehow it's triggering your story, which is to be the rescuer. So it's all that kind of mirror work, right? So let go that they need anything and change your belief. Alter your perception of this person that they are absolutely capable. Look at them that way. See them that way. And I know you already see them. This is what you're saying. You see that they have that potential. But see that even what they look like right now is just as beautiful as when they're in their bliss and their joy and their love. And know that they're in a cycle. And it's absolutely necessary for them to be in the down cycle. And you don't want to rip them out of that. Rather, you just want to hold space and allow for them to process and believe that they are completely capable and that there's nothing wrong, all is well, everything is perfect. So we invite you to revisit this video and apply that question to earlier in the conversation and see if that will help you unpack it further. I hope that helps. Oh, I hope I pronounced your name right, dear. Let's see. Darani Akashic. How do you make the insecure self confident? How do you stop being the small self or love your physical flaws? How do you make the insecure self confident? How do you stop being the small self? Well, first of all, you can't stop being the small self. How do you love your physical flaws? Well, Darani, you begin by, oh, good, Adam. I'm glad you got that. I love you too. Thank you for joining us, okay? Okay, so self-confidence, self-love, physical flaws. That's going to require a little bit more work. So I invite you to watch last week's video where we went deep into what inner child work is. It's an hour-long video that's going to answer this question fully and completely. I'm also offering a course called Next Level Mentorship for Women where we're unpacking this for a month-long series. You're going to want to do inner child work around your insecurities and your beliefs around what it means to be a woman and what it means to have this vessel and what this vessel looks like. There's very deep programming and manipulation and brainwashing that is really convoluting the feminine to reject herself. So I can really relate to this. I still have insecurities arise for myself with my body, but I've done a lot of work through different modes of therapy, through different energy healings, to really attack each insecurity one by one by one. And I have to tell you, my sweetheart, it's start really loving your body. So a simple practice that I did that really revolutionized my experience of my body is when I put like lotion on after the shower or when I'm bathing and I'm soaping, I affirm every single body part that I touch. I love you. My neck is beautiful. My shoulders are yummy. My thighs are juicy. I'm so thankful for this body. I'm amazing. What a powerful body that I have. I really get you work with the Akashic records. Of course you do. But you're triggered with your physical stuff. Yeah. Sweetheart, you're processing stuff with the family lineage of the females in your on your mother's side. Like you're really impacted by an old program on the lineage of really body shaming and hating the body because of all of the trauma that's happened to the women in your life and in your lineage and in your DNA. So you're really wanting to cultivate self-love practices, and it might take you some time to really unpack this all the way, and I'm here to support you with that as well. But it starts with the small stuff of just changing your perspective and loving every single part of yourself and not being hard on the part of yourself that's insecure, not shaming yourself for having insecurities, right? We're releasing collective shame, you guys. We're releasing collective shame. Yeah, I got that part. Yeah, of course. So when you go watch last week's video, it's an hour long, and I went really deep into a very specific process of inner child work, going all the way into your past lives and your family lineage. And if you do this work and commit to a daily practice of 15 minutes a day, you're really going to have a breakthrough and actually shift and heal that wounded inner child and heal that wounded DNA that's wanting to play out in your vessel. And I know it's so frustrating and it's so consuming. But do this work. I know that you can do this. You've already been doing so much work on yourself, right? And you will integrate, and those parts of yourself that are rejecting the self will begin to stop. But you don't want to reject even the part you don't want to keep rejecting the part of yourself that's rejecting yourself. So start to love that little girl who started hating her body. Love that little girl. Give her everything she needed. At that really turning point at age 6 for you, like 6, 7, and again at 13, that kind of pre-puberty age. Look at those ages and see how she started creating a story about herself and how that's playing out. I hope that helps. Does anyone else have another question? Let me see if I missed anything. Peace, Tony. Love you. Thanks for joining. Oh, you're so great. Oh, yes. Just gonna wait and see if anyone else has a question before I sign off. So while I'm waiting for people to type, I am going to be making a change with Freedom Fridays. Oh, good, Chloe. Good girl. I'm going to be making a change with Freedom Fridays. So I need you to take one action step. And if you enjoy these videos and you want to keep getting this free live workshop, so to speak, of these energy forecasts and these channeled messages, then please go to my business page, Freedom Franklin, and like the business page so that you're following my business page, because I'm going to start shooting these videos from that source instead of my personal page. I need to kind of make a little separation with that. Also, I want to share really quickly that I have developed a program, and it's called Next Level Mentorship. It's 1 month long, and every week we get on a video conference call for 2 hours, and we dive deep into what it means to be in the sisterhood, to develop healthy self-esteem, to be anchored fully in our power, so we're not just going in and out of our power, but we're actually anchored in it, and to remove the blind spots and the blockages to living an abundant, financially wealthy life aligned with our mission right now. Calling in community and support so that we can be totally aligned and supported through this ascension process and through unpacking these collective women's issues. So if any of that seems interesting to you and resonates with you, then go to my website, www.freedomfranklin.com, send me an email, and I'll give you a phone call, and we'll see if this course is right for you. And so again, I'm just waiting for any last questions for tonight's video. So really, thank you everyone who joined. It is my absolute pleasure and bliss to do these talks. I love you so much. I'm so grateful for your time. If you jumped on at the end, I invite you to go back and watch from the beginning, because there were some really juicy, good messages. And what else? I won't be here next Friday, so I will miss a week. I will miss you all so much. And oh, we have one more question. Okay, this is the last question. I seem to attract men that do not commit. How can I transmute this and align with my soulmate? Ooh, Marbella, that's gonna take a bit more to unpack all the way, sweetheart. There's a lot of layers to that. I'm going to say a piece that you already know, but I'm going to say it anyways. It has to do with your inability to receive fully. So attracting the divine masculine means that you've got to now operate from your divine feminine, which is a state of being of soft and receiving, receptive. So when you're in a frequency of receptivity, abundance of love comes to you, but you're also choking your manifestation so tight, and you're trying to control and create so specifically how you want a man to show up, that you're actually, if you were to just let go of everything that you think that you want, and everything that you've been creating, and everything that you've been intending, and all of that you've been envisioning, and just let it all fucking go. Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. And hold faith to that you are already contracted to be with somebody. And you also have choice, right? So that's, I don't want to dive into the difference between the contract and the choice, but for you, I'm going to say you have a contract with someone, and that person can't show up in your field until you do a little bit more work around your inability to receive, to receive. Yeah, delete. Receive love, to receive abundance. It comes down to your self-worth. It completely comes down to your self-worth. If you're attracting uncommitted partners, then on some level, you really don't believe that you're worthy enough to be committed to. You really don't believe all the way down in your core that you have something to offer, that you alone, Marbella, is enough. You don't have to have all of these credentials to be worthy of love, and you don't have to earn love, and you don't have to impress anyone to receive love. Your beingness is made of love. You are spirit, you are God, and when you can really anchor in your power of what it means to be in your feminine, right? Then someone who's, look, the men are gonna, the level at which the men are showing up and honoring you or not is exactly the level at which you're honoring yourself or not. So if you want more honor from a man, yeah, you're getting it, then honor yourself, sweetheart. Get into a deep, juicy, intimate relationship with yourself and start there. And when you transmute all of that stuff around unworthiness and men and all the things and let it all go, God, you're going to have suitors lining out the door. Aaron Haney, my favorite. Yay! Aaron made it. I have been getting on this girl to make it to these. And of course, we're completing the conversation now. So please, my love, my bestie, my DBF, ha ha ha, go at the end when I get off and go ahead and rewatch this video and see if it resonates. But specifically, I want you, a lot of you on this call, I want you to watch the video from last week as well. There's like really intricate tools that you can apply now to support yourself through all of these changes. Thank you so much for joining. I love you so much. Like I said, I won't be here next Friday. I'll be here the following Friday. So until then, you can just rewatch these. I appreciate your support. And yeah, until next time, I love you from San Diego, California. Bye, my brothers. Bye, my sisters. Thank you, everyone who joined. I'm so, I'm really honored and moved and just blissed out over the support. This is really amazing time to be alive and to be sharing space with all of you, and I honor you so much. Okay, blessings. You're welcome, Shayla. I love you. Yes. Bye, my loves. Bye. I love you. Mwah.